Hey, this is Brandon here with B-Dubs Games. Welcome back to another episode of Survivalcraft 2 as we explore some of the newer features of the latest update. Last time on the episode, we were playing the normal, this Fog Hill, Leg Hill world, and we just got back to the point of being established enough to continue on with that. And I think one of the things I complained about a little bit, maybe complained is weak, maybe it's wine, I don't know. Was that the biome that I was in I felt was difficult, which means I probably should just pack up as much gear as I can, as much food, and move on to some other biome that would be more useful. But I wanted to also touch on a couple different things to show you some of the features of this, and I'll get into Fog Hill, Leg Hill world, and I'll show you a couple other ones. But right now, I want to show you some of the features that are out there. So if I choose, let's try this Snow Fair. I believe this is the one. Creative option. Let's see. Let's go with options. I'm gonna change this back to Survivalcraft. I think this is the one. I could be wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and do this anyway. Let me apply the changes, and we're gonna go into this Snow Fair and verify this is the right place I want to be before I continue on. This is okay. This is perfect. All right, so this is a world that I had done other videos. There's an elevator that I had built, a home, some electrics that I did on here. It's creative, so I can fly, and there's plenty of fish in its water. So what I wanted to do is look at some of the textures. This is the default texture pack, and there are plenty others to download and play with. But I wanted to touch base on a few things. So fish look normal. The water looks, blue. It's not exactly the most awesome thing out there. The sand, cactus, you get an idea of brick and colored brick, etc. So what I've done is set up a little stage here so that you can see. These are standard. So there's a crafting table. This is a wicker lamp, a furnace, a chest. Inside the chest, I've got various tools. Obviously, this is a shovel, so wooden, stone, copper, iron, and diamond. Right? Iron, copper, stone. And some machetes in here, and there's some other random items in this piece. But this is also a fence. This is an iron fence. Now, look at like the depth. You can see a square. The center, of course, is really paper thin, which is fine. I'm not complaining. This is a sign iron fence. And for posterity, I threw stone fence, wooden fence, and it looks like it's already getting dark, so I'm gonna go ahead and change that to dawn. So then we have doors. This is a standard wood door that you would build. It comes equipped by default with glass. Interesting. This is an iron door. Okay, and this is a cell door. Jail cell, whatever. And depth. It has some depth to it. And of course here we have a diamond block, and then on top of this is a normal glass pane or glass block. This is a malachite block, solid block, and this is glass pane with the trimmings, and of course there's another glass pane with all the in-depth trimming, makes it a little stronger. Below we have an iron block, then a copper block, marble, stone brick, cobblestone. Obviously that's what we see most of, just showing you the looks. This is birch wood, spruce wood, and oak wood. That's what the trees would look like. And if I come up here, you can see as I jump, probably should put another step here. Maybe I will. Is this? Oh, that's basalt. Let's put a thing of basalt down on top of this so that we know here. So this is the top of the wood. This is a cactus, top of a cactus. Okay. So we're going to come down here. Now, just remember, this is basalt. I don't have it labeled. Cobblestone, basalt. Those are the wood. So a cactus, you got your cotton that's ready to pick. This is wild cotton. This is wild rye. And this is rye that's ready to pick if you were farming. And there's some various flowers, pumpkins. This is the new rotten, so rotten pumpkins. Nice little jack-o'-lantern here. Christmas tree. Oh, look how pretty that is if you build it. And then, of course, I hooked up electric to it so you can turn the lights on. Interesting, huh? Very subtle, no colors, just lights. Alright, and then behind here we have, this is what gravel looks like: limestone, coal ore, copper ore, iron ore, sulfur ore, diamond ore, and then we've got germanium ore, saltpeter ore, and then regular sandstone. And that is what the standard world looks like. Obviously there's other features on here. I mean, you can kind of get an idea of what they look like. Malachite chunk, and I believe now instead of one of the changes, I think instead of mining these or smelting this block of ore, when you mine it, it gives you chunks, iron ore chunks instead. I honestly don't remember, but that was one of the features that was listed. Same with sulfur chunk, etc. Germanium crystal. And that's what all these things look like. And I mean, we can go through and kind of look at what some of the other things in here look like. And they're smaller items. There's all the tools, etc. So I'm going to come back over here because we started at the water. And this is where that's at. So I'm going to exit out of here. And then I'm going to pick Snowfair again. And we're going to go down to just one of the other options here. Options, and I had downloaded these. They're not hard to download, obviously. You just download them. Maybe I guess for posterity reasons I should show you that. If you go back to here and you go content and then private community or from a specific link, I just chose community and I went down. It's listed by top ranked, and I just went down and started picking stuff that I thought might be interesting. Some of these I've seen, and some of them I haven't. Download them, and then they're set up. So I'm gonna go ahead and play. Click Snowfair again. That's an interesting name. And then in the world seed on that particular thing is B-Dubs Games. And I'm gonna go back to the options. I will choose my block's texture, and we first did survival. So I'm gonna do this alter default to Drake's 512. All right, that was one of the top ones. So I'm going to click the apply changes, and we will play this world. And now it's going to change all the textures. So the water, I think, looks slightly different. It's really close, but slightly different. Sand, I'm not really sure. I'm actually going to get rid of this piece of salt. I don't need to carry anything. So, crafting table looks to be about the same. There's a torch. The wicker lamp looks different. Furnace pretty close. Chest is pretty close. The tools in here look slightly different, maybe a little smoother almost. The fences all look the same. Maybe a color is slightly different. The doors look pretty close to the same as what they were. Now these blocks, looks like copper is a little more orange. The trees, this particular skin, he must have focused on something slightly different. Everything looks pretty close to the same thing. That's interesting. Did the seed actually take effect? I swear, the wicker lamp is different. Not a whole lot else is different. So let's go back and look at the water again. I'm pretty sure. Play Snowfair. Let's go back to this settings over here. Options. And yeah, it is altered. So there's just... This particular one only alters a few, apparently. So we're going to choose a different one. We'll go down in here to this. Let's look at it. So Doku Craft 2 X Pipe Player. Whoever created that and put that out there, awesome. So I'm going to go back to here, click Apply Changes, and then now we will play the Snowfair world. Give me a second to check this out. Okay, so now things are visibly different. The water is definitely different, a little smoother. This is sand, looks quite a bit different. If you notice this piece of basalt sitting there, it almost looks like sandstone now. Whoa, the cactus looks completely different. My house is pretty crazy. brick and everything. So there's quite a bit of stuff that they changed. Okay, so the standard standard torch crafting table looks slightly different. I like this wicker lamp. It's more like a gothic, almost looks like iron. The furnace looks pretty cool. The chest is pretty awesome. So let's look at the tools. Wood looks like it's, they took a skin from, like a wood floor. This looks like cobblestone. That's kind of cool. Copper, iron shovel, diamond is extra shiny. That's kind of neat. Here's a few other little blocks here we'll get into. So here's an iron fence, all right? No depth on the corners, maybe almost looks see-throughs, like some part of the skin didn't come through on the 3D part. So you've got your stone fence and a wood fence. That's kind of fun. So the door, standard wooden door, has a lot of steel look to it. And then the steel door, that looks pretty awesome. The cell door. Looks a little blocky, in my opinion. Does have a few depth. Looks like there's a few things that aren't painting correctly. You can see the invisible outline. That's interesting. Diamond block's a little shinier. It does look a little more cartoony. It doesn't look like full on realism or anything. Not that any of it did. Your copper block looks like it's got a pattern now, like it's a bunch of blocks together. Marble. Stone, your cobblestone looks interesting. Basalt was up top. It looks like sandstone used to. Your birch wood, your spruce wood, and your oak wood. The patterns on the bark is pretty interesting. Let's see what the rings. So, and he did put rings a little more defined, the cracks. So that's interesting. Just at the top of that cactus, that cacti. So the top of the cactus actually has a little flower on it. That's kind of cool. What if he? Oh yeah, so if you hit the top of it, that's interesting. Very interesting. Cotton. See, this is some of the problem that I've seen when they start editing some of these textures. They lose their 3D. It's like an X pattern. If you see, it's completely flat and a total X. That's how they get their 3-dimensional rather than some of the other stuff. The rest of the plants look different. I mean, this flower, I remember the original flower actually looks much prettier. It looks like a standalone flower, kind of like what that does, but with depth. But good job with all the differences. The grass looks completely different textures for sure. And look, the rotten pumpkin is, it looks visibly different from the standard pumpkin. The jack-o'-lantern looks a little sad. It's got a sad face on him, but it's still there. Christmas tree looks the same. Looks like it wasn't altered. Switches do. The lights, they are what they are. Iron. Look at the iron block. That's kind of cool. All right, so we got gravel. Dark, dirty looking gravel. Nice. Limestone. Looks like it's a designed limestone rather than something wild with moss and stuff in there. Coal ore, copper ore, iron ore, sulfur. Looks kind of makes it look like gold or something. You got diamond, germanium, saltpeter. I put these two next together because you find saltpeter ore in sandstone. So standard sandstone, saltpeter. So that's a pretty interesting texture pack. So the world, looking at the world, the cactus looks noticeably different, and some of the other stuff does. So you can see the tree over there with the different textures of wood. That's kind of nice. So let's move on into another one real quick here. So I'll stand by the water here. So let's go ahead and quit, and then we'll play Snow Fair. Let's go ahead and change this out. Options, we'll pick a different one. Obviously, I'm not going to go over every single skin pack. I just downloaded a few just so you can see the differences. So if any of you want to. Now, this is a 1024 by 1024, so details should be a little bit more in depth. The other ones were 512, I believe. Yeah, both of these were 512. Actually, standard is 512. These two that we already looked at were 512. This one is 1024. So let's see. You probably need a little bit more power to run that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and play. This water looks nice. Kind of got a top you look, you can still see the fish inside there, so it's not blocking. The sand looks smooth. I mean, like no texture at all. It's just a gray block. Cactus looks interesting. Doesn't have quite as much depth as one of the other ones with all the different things sticking out, but it looks really nice. All right, so you got a torch. Looks different quite a bit. That's nice. Smooth. So this is kind of a smooth thing. All right, crafting table. Wicker lamp looks like a glowing golden block. The furnace looks like a modern day oven. That's awesome. So this is like in the modern pack, and it looks like we're gonna get. Whoops. Wrong key. Well, look at some of the tools already. Let me change this back to morning time. So that's pretty funny. So your tools in here, you know, it's kind of got a nice sheen to the metal. That's done well. That's pretty cool. All right, so we've got. I did make it morning, didn't I? Okay, so then the fence looks pretty standard. Looks good. Iron fence, wooden fence, stone fence looks really smooth. So things are pretty smooth. This interesting, an iron door. So this person must have created this nice wooden door, modern day door. This looks like a refrigerator door. So they must be when they made this pack, want to do something very specific. So put by creating a refrigerator, and that's what it looks like. So iron doors or refrigerators in here. A cell door looks interesting. Oh, and very, nice depth to it though. So you've got diamond block, kind of an interesting pattern. Malachite block, funky. So they changed the 4x4 window pane. Standard glass has a dark border around it. It looks like now, and one window pane around takes all these little sparkles out of the center, so it's completely clear, but you'd have a border. And then you've got a paned glass, which is now like a cross pane. So iron block, copper block, marble looks pretty well. Looks kind of like what a lot of marble does. Then you've got your stone brick, which it looks nice. It is smooth. What else we got? Cobblestone looks like bricks, but it's cool. Basalt. Well, that looks dark. So you get the top of your trees. They have a pattern, defined pattern. There's a cow. Alright, so you've got your cactus, smooth wood over here, birch. That's interesting. It's like finished product. Shit, look, the cactus looks tiny, looks shiny on the top. That's fun. So you've got cotton, again, X's. This looks like wheat. But it's done. This is wild. This is finished. These are some flowers. They got a little bit more funkiness to them. That's cool. Rose flowers. You got your pumpkins. Your rotten ones look rotten. And this, wow, there's no depth inside of it. It's just a ball, but it's got somewhat of a face. That's fun. The Christmas tree is altered in this world. This particular skin pack. Nice. Alright, so there's no defining iron. This is all iron block with a diamond over here. That's interesting. So you've got gravel. Looks like gravel. Difference. So interesting. Limestone, coal, copper, iron ore, because it's in basalt. Sulfur ore, diamond ore, and germanium ore. All these are in basalt, I take it. And that's why it's so dark there. And then you've got your saltpeter, which is purple, kind of looks like germanium, and then sandstone. So this looks nice. It's kind of a modern day thing. If you want your world to look more modern day, I mean, look at my beautiful house. Enter the refrigerator. That's pretty cool. So this is stained brick and stuff. That's kind of neat. So let's go back over to my starting point, and then we're going to go ahead and exit out. I'm only going to test out a couple more of these. Video's starting to get a little long, so we'll go ahead and grab this one here. Change the options. So that was modern. Yeah, of course it said right on it, modern day Diego. So good job, whoever created that, Delgado. So this is a Neotext V2 version 2.0.1 by Milton Rivas. So this is another full 1024. So thank you for creating those. One of these days maybe I will do the same, create something, and learn how to do it. Alright, so what we've got here is nice looking water, the fish are in there, the sand is very bright and smooth, but it does have some texture to it. Wow, look at the cactus. That's got a lot of detail. Alright, torch is kind of cool. It looks like a hot burning coal up top, and then you've got your crafting table. It's kind of hard to read the signs. Wicker, lamp, the furnace looks pretty cool. The chest is, I like that. The chest is pretty awesome. Inside the chest, of course, we've got some tools. Iron shovel. Look at the metal sheen to that. That's pretty slick. The diamond edge tools. That's pretty slick. So then we've got iron fence, wood fence, stone fence. They look pretty basic and nice. And I like this wooden door. It looks cool. Got a little window you can see through still, but yet it looks, you know, like wood planks. Depth. Iron door looks nice. It almost looks like a screen door. This does look like a screen. This is a cell door. So if you actually wanted to make a prison with this particular texture pack, it would, you know, your prisoners could just get right out. That's not fair. All right, so, but it's cool. They're all very cool. So glass has a different, slight, thin border, but it's completely see-through. You can't even see the border on the other side, so that probably would look pretty awesome in your home. Pane glass. Interesting. So you got your iron block, malachite, diamond. They look pretty cool. Copper block. It makes it look like it has a metal look to it. Marble is, wow, intertwined pattern. That kind of looks freaky. Stone. Cobblestone, basalt. You've got your birch, your spruce, and your oak wood. Bark looks pretty fantastic. Let's see what the top of them look like. Oh yeah, that looks pretty slick. Dark and old. They're all the same color, but that's alright. Oh, it looked like the cactus had a flower on top of it again. So this person did a good job there. Flower on top. Cactus. That's pretty cool. Cotton. Nice big cotton. They are X's again. I'd have to look at the first one, original one. So this is rye, some other flowers. They look kind of interesting. Pumpkin. This is rotten. Now you can definitely see the difference between a good pumpkin and a rotten pumpkin. This looks like a texture mismatch. Like you forgot something here. I've seen rotten fruit. I haven't ever seen blue rotten fruit, but whatever. The jack-o'-lantern looks nice. It's got some depth inside there. 3D tree looks pretty close to the same. Nice lighting. So you got your gravel. It's like white. Interesting gravel. Limestone, coal ore, copper ore. The ore looks pretty good. Iron, you know, I mean, iron is kind of tough to see the difference between. Well, you can see it. Take that back. And the basalt. Basalt looks good. Saltpeter. No, this is germanium. Saltpeter. You can definitely see the difference between sandstone and saltpeter. Sandstone and sand, definitely two different textures and colors. So, good job. This is kind of a fun little one. Head back over to the water hole here. I probably should have put some water right next to what I was doing. So let's look at one more. Options. So that was Neotext. Good job, Milton. So then Diego Delgado update 4. This is Sortex fan must be a fan version. So must be the same guy, modern and Sortex. So we're gonna go the real photorealism for right now. Apply changes, and we will play. And let's see what this looks like. Real photorealism. All right, water looks pretty basic. Looks good though. And look at this. Gravel, or gravel, sand, looks like sand. Cactus, got all sorts of pokey, prickly things popping out of them. That's good warning. And And then we've got a torch. Looks pretty basic. Looks good though. Old. Everything. All this look. The wood looks old. Everything looks old. Crafting table. Wicker lamp. This furnace like a big old hole in the center of it. That's pretty cool. I wonder if you put something. If you put something in it. So if I put in food. So is this a raw fish? If I put a raw fish and see the textures of moldy bread, moldy dough, rotten meat, they're green. That's nice. That looks good. So if I get a regular fish and then I need, do I have any wood? Where's a piece of wood? Sorry, I'm having. Sure, we'll just do this. So let's do this. We'll put. You can split now, which is nice. Let's put this raw fish in there. Oh yeah, so you've got burning on the inside. That's kind of cool. Let's see the flame just fine. Got my fish is all nice and neat. That's fun. Alright, so then here we go. Iron fan stone. Look, it's all very brown. This is a very brown set here. So nice old wooden door. Steel door. That definitely looks like an iron door. Cell door still looks like cell. That's good. Diamond block looks like it's very gray. Very gray. So malachite, iron, copper, marble. Looks like marble, stone. You've got cobblestone. And I'm starting to get dark again, isn't it? Let's go one more. There we go. So cobblestone, you got your basalt, your different woods, oak, spruce, and birch. It's good texture on those. Your cotton. All that stuff looks nice. I wonder if when you create it yourself, you have no choice but to make those X because it's all done that way. So that must be. Looks like a mask of a superhero, you know, super pumpkin man. Jack-o'-lantern looks nice. All right, the Christmas tree. What? What's going on here? All right, I lost my control to click on that. Okay, so lights on and off. That's kind of fun. Alright, so your different ore. Wow, they look all blended together, you know. That's kind of cool. Gravel. Limestone, coal ore. That's interesting. Diamond looks like chunks of real diamond in there. That's fun. Germanium. Wow, it looks very subtle, a very subtle difference between standard basalt and germanium, so you have to keep your eyes open. Same with a saltpeter. Good job. It's blended in very well. So yeah, this is a nice one. It's very old and rustic. Makes my house look like a little old and weird. But photorealism looks nice. I like that. So good job. What are we at? 28 minutes. Quit. Let's see, one more thing. Play. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Sorry. Let me quit it again. So let's look at that one more. I know I said that other one was going to be one more, but let's look at this other one from the other Delgado one, Diego one. So let's do that. Might as well look at one last one since I have it. And we'll play it. Here we go. So water, where are the fish? There's the fish. Sand is pretty smooth. Grass looks good from this angle. Looks kind of fun. It's very bright colors again. Crafting table. The wicker lamp looks interesting. It's not see-through at all, but it's like glass. The furnace looks pretty cool. Let's throw another fish in there. See what it looks like. Yeah, you can't see anything inside of it. Chest is interesting. You got your shovels and stuff. Fence missing some outer skin, part of the skin. Same problem. It looks like may have had on some of the other ones. All the different colors of blocks are pretty open. Cobblestone and stone brick and basalt, they all look different. The birch, all the different woods. There's a nice round, perfect round texture. Cotton, I think looks the same. Oh, the difference between wild rye and whatever, they're very small. Your flowers, jack-o'-lantern looks good. Excellent. So you got your gravel, limestone, coal. So your ores are, jump right out at you. I like the big giant diamond already pre-cut. Excellent job. Germanium, red, that looks fun. Saltpeter, you definitely can't miss that. Sandstone's very smooth. So that's pretty cool. And that is what I have. Let's see, anything else like jump out. So this is what your small textures look like. Kind of cool. Yeah, your little chunks are all. You did a good job at this too. Need to be on the lookout for a trap, grass trap thing. That's pretty cool. So yeah, some of these textures make it look fun. It makes it look neat. Just for you to play around. Doesn't really cost anything for you to do. Obviously, it doesn't cost any real money, but I mean, it doesn't cost anything out of your time. As long as you have enough computer to get through all this stuff. I don't know that too many people have done anything with animals as far as textures go. I don't even know if that's even that possible. Let's see. I look about the same in this one. So very good. And that's kind of what I wanted to touch base on. There's also different buildings that you can download. Like I think I did. Like here, I downloaded this elevator too. I wanted to see what it was like, and whoever created this, he created a bunch of custom things in here. So created by Spoon3ER, so Spooner. So he created these pieces of furniture that are movable, and so when you hit this button here, he's got a bunch of pistons and stuff, push-pull pistons that close two separate sets of doors, which is pretty cool. When you come in here first, this is kind of where you start. Flip the switch, those doors open. Kind of a fancy power door, but a lot of electrics, involved in doing all this. That's pretty impressive. And then he's got this elevator that he made, where you can walk in, and if you want to go up, you hit to the first floor, you hit it once. If you want the second floor, third floor, fourth floor, fifth floor. So this isn't just whatever. So you hit that, and then you hit the go, and you zoom up, and he's got doors that will open. Well, of course, except for the very last. Actually, it opens first. So if you say you go down 2, 3, and you click go, those don't. 2, 3. See, you saw that one open right there. Anyway, then if you fly around his world here, you can see where he created this arrow to make the piece of furniture, and then he got those arrows that he could place. And then this big piece of furniture here that he used, he was able to make these smaller ones, these little things that you punch, they move. And this obviously was something he was working on. Over here, he's got, I'm not sure what he's got over here. He's got numbers and stuff that he did in his testing, which is pretty slick. He's got himself constant delays in there, etc., to make this thing go up and down. Pretty cool. Created this on a flat land with some water, apparently, floating in the air. But look at the complexity of all these electrics. Is pretty cool. You can see all the wiring and different things that he did to do that. So a lot of work gone into this. So anyway, there's all sorts of stuff you can just kind of mess around and play with, and check it out. So the last thing I wanted to touch on was I like I told you, I complained about the biome. It was difficult for me to get going now, so I created another one, challenging, and I can show you. Maybe we play this if you want to, but I found that I probably need to sleep. Yep. Oops, resume. That was the wrong key. Let me sleep so I can go outside. I chose to be a woman in this one because this new update, the woman doesn't need as much food. She's not as strong, but she doesn't need as much food, and I think she's faster off the get-go. So I'm going to go out here. I clearly have a texture pack loaded, a different texture pack loaded. I'm not really sure which one I chose on this one. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, I showed up in this particular biome, and right off the bat, I've got an ocean behind me. I've got a lot of flat land here. I've got some bison and cows. So yeah, I showed up like right over there, but I've got all this flat land, lots of birds around. Came over here right away, cobblestone. I found a bunch of graves. I've dug up most of them. I didn't really get anything like some other than like cotton seeds and stuff. I don't know if he's fixed. I know he said he fixed some of the drop rate of those graves. But you know, I was able to find this vine, this ivy growing, so I can make string right away. And so of course right away I was able to get food, be able to hunt these birds. But there is a thing in here. Let's see, here's another grave over here, it looks like. But there is a thing, you can't eat the same food too often. So I haven't yet to run into the too often part, but see, here's some more graves over here. So this area apparently is kind of an Africa thing, and there's a lion that I don't know that I want to mess with right now while I'm showing you this. But anyway, I had pretty much everything available, so I started to build a house. I'm going to run over there real quick. I'll go ahead and scoop this egg up. So I started to build a house. Look, there's a boar. So there's plenty of food around for me. So I killed a cow already, so I've got a few different varieties of food. But I started to build a house right here. It's already got some growth on it. I figured a nice little house, but then I was running out of time. It was taking too long. And then I noticed, look, there's some coal right there. So I thought the safest thing for me to do right when I first start would be to just dig into the side of a mountain. So that's exactly what I did. I dug into the side of a mountain, so I was able to get plenty of cobblestone. At the same time, there was coal in here. So right off the bat, I had fire torches that I could use. And when I came out, I found this little area was a cave. So I dug into it and came in and started looking. And there was coal. There was germanium or malachite ore in here. Lots of basalt. There's a jaguar down there, it looks like. Some other animals that I'm going to have to figure out how to kill when I get some time. But I just started, and I haven't been playing very long, so and I haven't died. I'm going to see how well I can survive. But I've got a moose. So I've got some arrows, I've got some stone, I've got some cooked meat, I've got cooked bird. They're both still good. I just grabbed a duck egg. That'll probably turn rotten by the time actually, I could make a bucket and cook it and eat it. So anyway, that is where I'm at. So again, if you find yourself in a biome that isn't very giving to you and you want to try something else, just delete the game and try a new one. Sorry about that yawn. And you might end up having a really good start for a biome, and then allow you to build up and move on. So anyway, that's all I've got. This is Brandon Williams. Thanks again. This is B-Dubs Games. If you like what you see, please press the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. And if there's any information, any questions you have, anything you want me to do, please feel free. Comment, and I'll try to do my best to comment back. Thank you. Peace out.